build an electric fence. Hey guys, welcome back to the hobby farm. Today I just want to explain to you a wonderful pig electric fence we built. So I built this little garden tool shed area. I'm going to be running power to, but for now it just has an extension cord. You come in here. What we got is a fencer. It's one of the ones you plug in the AC, not a solar one. And we got a ground coming out here to a ground rod, and there's another ground rod pounded in out there. Again, temporary. Once I get the electrical run to here, we'll tie ground to it, and then the hot goes out this side of the shed. I used a old piece of hose just to insulate. So the way the system works essentially is there's a hot, which is this one right here, and then there's a ground, and the hot stays energized or live, and then when something goes up and touches it, like a pig or a person or a predator or raccoon, they're also touching the ground, so they complete the circuit and they get shocked. So it's really high voltage, really low current, painful, but it won't kill you. So I got poly wire coming out to these tiny screw-in insulators up here to a source over there to our actual pig pen. So we have our source wire coming here. Again, it is energized, so we put some flagging tape on it so I won't run into it. It comes high up just to keep it off the ground, because you don't want twigs or trees or anything touching this, because it'll bring your voltage down and your fence might not actually work. So it comes down. Again, we got a piece of an old hose here insulating, and then it runs over to our actual pen, which is over here. This is where our pigs are actually going to grow up. It's a little bit smaller now that they're younger, and we have a wire roughly 6 inches off the ground and another wire 8 inches above that, or 14 inches off the ground, standard for pigs. We're going to put a third wire on the top at 2 feet if the pigs prove to be trouble getting out after they get bigger, but they're pretty small now, so this will do for now. We have an old bathtub we're using as the pigs' water. I'll bring the trough out here once they're ready to come out here, and we got the little pig hut up here we can go take a look at. So we have kind of a makeshift pig hut. It's not much. It's just 5 pallets nailed together, and I put some old corrugated roofing, plastic roofing on top of it, and some old barn board just to keep them sheltered. We'll throw some hay when they get in. And then this is going to be their little area they can root up and destroy. You see there's a bit of grass here, and then over that way there's some alders and things, so they'll have some shade. And there's lots of good insects and roots and everything they can dig up in there. Yeah, I'll wake you up in the morning.
Tim, stop playing with your food.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the farm. So as you can see, we moved them to their new fence enclosure. I already showed you the hut and everything, but they're happily living here. I just kind of want to tell you some of the trials and tribulations we had with moving them. Oh, thank you, Finn. So we tried the more direct approach of just pitching them in here from their old place, but it really didn't work out all that well. The electric fence is a deterrent, but it definitely doesn't stop them. They will mow right through it if they're excited enough or scared enough. I put a couple extra strands here. Normally it's just 2-wire all the way around, but here seems to be the place that's taking the most abuse. So I had the extra wire, so I figured I might as well use it. So what we had to do was kind of dismantle this section and run an electric fence down by Finn and link it to our garden, which is on the other side of those rabbit cages down here. In order to do that, it had to be real temporary. Well, it didn't have to be, but we could make it really temporary because all it had to do was funnel the pigs up here in a nice, cool, controlled state where they felt safe. They had their place they could go back to, and they had this new area that was kind of curious to them. The other thing we did was take down their shelter and move all their food up here, so they kind of had to come up here eventually. It only took them about a day to figure it all out. Then I waited for them to go to sleep. Yes, Randy, we all know you're there. We just waited for them to go to sleep, turned the fence off, closed this 3 or 4 span back in, and dismantled the temporary section. So it worked out rather well. Keeps the stress to the pigs down, keeps them not excited, and we don't have to force them to do anything, and therefore they don't get mad at us pretty much. I love you too.
Man, what a mess. Man, you gotta be like pigs. See you next time on the Hobby Farm.